Hi everyone, welcome to the Wednesday edition of Source 16 News. I'm Eddie Owen. Thanks for joining us. Major General John Campbell, commanding general of the 101st Airborne Division, has been nominated by President Barack Obama to receive his third star, and he will serve as the Army Deputy Chief of Staff for Operations. Fort Campbell officials told Source 16 today that his promotion to Lieutenant General and his new job still have to be approved by the U.S. Senate, which may take several months to be finalized. Major General Jamie McConnell will also be replacing Campbell. Well, today is World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. According to the Better Business Bureau, the organization receives hundreds of phone calls from senior citizens each year who were targets of scams. The BBB said the top scams include seniors involving identity theft, telemarketing scams, sweepstakes scams, work-at-home scams, internet fraud, and grandparent scams. Hopkinsville Christian County Senior Center Executive Assistant Laura Younger says abuse, especially involving the elderly, is wrong.
Valuable to us. They have a wealth of information. They not only do they take care of their grandchildren. In a lot of cases, there's a lot of seniors here who do look after their own grandchildren or even great-grandchildren. Abuse of any level, whether old or young, is wrong and it needs to be stopped. Elderly abuse, they seem to be as helpless and defenseless as the young children are.
In honor of Elder Abuse Awareness Day, the local senior center held a class to teach senior citizens what to be on the lookout for.
It was Crime College is what it was called, and it presented to the seniors information that let them know about scam artists, whether it's someone knocking on their door wanting to do some roof repair or some yard work, but that would be scamming them. Phone calls, information telling them to be aware that if you do get phone calls from credit card companies, and they may say they're your card company, but they're probably not, to always, it was just awareness to remind them to always check with the people they know and trust, not to provide information to someone that may seem like a friend, but it's actually a stranger.
If you or someone you know might be a victim of elder abuse, contact your local law enforcement agency. Speaking of abuse, a former Fort Campbell soldier was sentenced yesterday to 8 years in prison for beating his 4-month-old son. Court records indicate that 23-year-old James Marcinkowski Sr. is not eligible for parole and will have to serve out his entire sentence after he recently entered a guilty plea to 1 count of aggravated child abuse neglect. According to his arrest warrant, on January 3rd, he took his son to Blanchfield Army Community Hospital because his son was bleeding from the mouth. In addition, court documents indicate the child had internal liver injuries, bleeding in the brain, and a shoulder fracture. Marcinkowski was previously assigned to Fort Campbell's 101st Sustainment Brigade. You might be able to enjoy your favorite cocktail at your favorite park if the Kentucky Department of Parks gets its way. The Kentucky Department of Parks wants a license to sell alcohol at Lake Barkley State Resort Park in land between the lake's National Recreation Area, as well as 4 other state parks in wet counties. Now, according to reports, Lake Barkley's application includes liquor by the drink in the dining room and the convention center, and beer could be sold at the Booch Randolph Golf Course. A comprehensive study by the Kentucky Department of Parks conducted last year suggested that alcohol be sold at some state parks, including Lake Barkley, to increase revenue. In addition, the Parks Department is seeking beer licenses at 2 state park golf courses, Audubon in Henderson and my old Kentucky home in Bardstown. Well, the Kentucky Welcome Station on Interstate 24 westbound at the Kentucky-Tennessee state line in Christian County has reopened. The Welcome Station facility was temporarily closed Sunday night due to sewer problems after a pumper truck was called to the center twice over the weekend to pump out a holding tank. According to Transportation Cabinet spokesman Keith Todd, Hopkinsville Water Environment Authority crews were at the facility Monday morning to determine what was causing the sewer problems. He says that HWEA found and removed a blockage in the sewer line that serves the facility. Todd reports the Welcome Center is now fully functional and is open to the public. Well, construction is set to begin tomorrow on the US 41A Fort Campbell Boulevard in southern Christian County. The project runs a distance of about 9 miles from near the intersection with Kentucky 117 northward through the Interstate 24 interchange to Sibley Lane. The project includes new turn lanes, shoulder widening, and improvements to the I-24 interchange ramps at exit 86, the Oak Grove Hopkinsville interchange. Transportation Cabinet spokesman Keith Todd says motorists can expect to encounter a number of lane restrictions along this section in coming weeks, as well as lane shifts as the work progresses. Motorists who wish to avoid delays should consider a detour route via I-24 and the Breathitt Pennyrile Parkway extension. Rogers Group is the prime contractor on this $10.5 million highway improvement project. Officials say work should be completed by sometime this fall, weather permitting. The mobile Vietnam Wall and other attractions honoring our nation's veterans stopped in Callaway County today. The American Veterans Traveling Tribute will also feature the Cost of Freedom Tribute as part of the visit at the Legion's Veterans Hall on North 4th Street in Murray. American Legion Post 73 in Murray and other local organizations are sponsoring the exhibit, which is in honor of a Medal of Honor recipient, U.S. Army Private Billy Lane Laufer, who was killed in action in Vietnam. The Traveling Veterans Wall exhibit will be open to the public beginning tomorrow at noon, with Callaway County Sheriff Bill Markham and Murray Mayor Bill Wells scheduled to speak at an evening ceremony. The mobile wall will be in Murray for 4 days through Sunday and will be removed on Monday. The Murray Service Center is accepting nominations for the 2012 Farm Service Agency County Committee election. The Farm Service Agency County area committees are responsible for the administration of federal farm programs at the local level. Callaway County is divided into 3 areas called Local Administrative Areas, or LAA, as seen on the map. And nominations for candidates to represent producers are now being accepted for LAA 3. This position is currently held by Francis Spillman. All farm owners and producers in LAA 3 are urged to take part in the county committee election. All nomination forms must be postmarked or returned to Murray FSA Service Center, located at 88 Robertson Road, no later than August 1st. The City of Mayfield is looking for volunteers interested in serving on a newly formed committee. At this month's Mayfield City Council meeting, Mayor Teresa Cantrell announced she would be putting together a transportation committee to study problem areas in Mayfield, in addition to areas regarding future transportation alternatives. Currently, the mayor said the City of Mayfield is in the early stages of a small urban transportation study that will be conducted by the Kentucky Department of Transportation. Anyone interested in serving on this committee on a volunteer basis can pick up an application at the mayor's office at City Hall. And speaking of transportation, bikers now have a safe place to park in downtown Mayfield. Public Works employees recently installed a new bike rack at the southwest corner of City Hall, just off Broadway on 6th. According to Mayor Cantrell, installing the bike rack is another way that city government is listening to the request of citizens. She said that a friend, local businessman and avid biker Joseph Williams, commented to her earlier this year that it would be great to have a great service to bikers like himself to have a safe place to park downtown, encouraging them to include downtown in their biking adventures. Mayor Cantrell said, when the rack was installed, I wanted Joseph to be in the picture because since that time I've heard the same request from several citizens who enjoy biking through Mayfield. She notes that the rack would particularly be useful during city events that are held in downtown Mayfield. The Hopkinsville Police and Firemen Pension Fund Board unanimously yesterday approved a cost of living increase for retirees. According to Hopkinsville City Clerk Chrissy Upton, retired officers and firemen and their spouses who receive benefits through the city's old retirement system will be getting a 1.5% cost of living increase effective July 1st. Upton said the increase does not include current or recently retired police officers or firemen. Well, in case you missed our 10 o'clock news last night, during a special called Committee of the Whole meeting, officials listened to public input on a proposed project to renovate the city's Lackey Municipal Building and move city offices downtown. Under the proposed project, $2 million will be spent renovating the current 32,000 square foot Lackey Municipal Building to house the Hopkinsville Police Department. The proposed project also includes possibly demolishing and rebuilding the 27,000 square foot old Planters Bank for $6.3 million and to relocate city offices to the downtown area. Several area residents attended the meeting and expressed their concerns about the project.
The concern I have, recently we've had issues with sewer failures in the city, and there's a large amounts of rain. My concern is, are we going to spend this amount of money for a new municipal building? I have no doubt that HPD doesn't need a new building. But has there been any study on the condition of the utilities down there as far as sanitary sewer, stormwater, sanitary water, overhead electric lines, these issues which need to be addressed before we spend $8 to $10 million on a downtown renovation.
Meanwhile, Ward 6 Councilwoman Ann Cherry said the city owes it to area residents to look at other possible locations to house the police department.
We owe it to our citizens to evaluate every option that is out there.
And we're taking that information
and I think
down
we
there.
certainly should look at this and not be closed-minded on this.
We're not. He's
And
presented.
so in saying that, I am hoping that we will take measures to have, Tara and Mr. Minigan there to evaluate this situation as well as just being tunnel vision focused on this one particular plan.
A presentation was also made by Earl Swinson and Associates to answer any questions about the proposed project. Well, Christian County Sheriff's deputies recovered a stolen vehicle, or what was left of it, after someone allegedly set it on fire. According to a report, deputies received a call Monday that a car was found burnt beyond recognition near Old Cedar Bluff Church, located on Howard Dickerson Road in Pembroke. When deputies arrived on the scene, they determined the badly damaged 2005 Chrysler 300 was registered to Jermaine Sanders of Clarksville, who reported it was stolen from the parking lot of a Peachers Mill Road apartment.